In this video, we're looking at chapter 15 in the textbook, and we are talking about figurative language. So let's just review the vocabulary that we've already added for this lesson. It is toward the end, I know. Here we go. There are 4 of these words. The first of which is literal. Literal. Literal are words which are used according to their exact meaning. Literal. Figurative are words that are used to mean more than the usual meaning. For example, it's raining cats and dogs. It's not literally raining cats and dogs. It is figuratively raining cats and dogs, meaning that it's raining a lot, which happens to be the case right now. So if you hear rain in the background, I apologize, but it's coming down quite hard here. The 2 other words that you'll need for this lesson are simile, which is a comparison of 2 people or things that uses like or as. For example, light as a feather. If I say, my dog is light as a feather, that is not literally true. My dog weighs 15 pounds, but that's a pretty small dog. Not light as a feather, but pretty small. So similes use like or as. Metaphors use a comparison of 2 people or things that calls attention to similarities. For example, he is a shining star. He is not literally a ball of burning gas, but we are comparing this person to this glowing, shining star, and that creates a positive impression of the person. So we are looking at literal language, which simply means what it says, and figurative language, which is more poetic, uses similes and metaphors. There are other types of figurative language, but these are the 2 that this lesson wants us to learn. So let me go back to my lesson. I believe I'm 1 behind actually. I'm sorry. I got my numbering off just a little bit when I inserted a page. So we are looking at chapter 15. This is page 50 in the textbook. And we are starting off with 2 of my favorite characters in all the world. These are characters in an Indonesian folktale or fable. And the 2 characters are named Cicak and Kancil. Cicak and Kancil. And let's take a look at the examples. It will tell us who these characters are, or what they are, I should say. They're animals. So let's meet Cicak and Kancil. Cicak and Kancil are characters in an Indonesian fable. Cicak is a gecko lizard. She is as long and slender as a bamboo shoot. Kancil is a small animal. They are friends, but they do not always get along. Sometimes their tempers are hot water bursting out of a geyser. So this is clearly fiction. We're talking about 2 creatures who behave as humans. They have human-like traits. So let's see if we can pick out some figurative language. I want you to think about Cicak. Remember, Cicak is the gecko. What kind of mental image do you have of Cicak? And why? Well, it says Cicak is a gecko lizard. She is as long and slender as a bamboo shoot. There is a simile. So Cicak is long and slender. She's very thin, like a bamboo shoot, a piece of bamboo. So this is a simile, and I do think we need to write this down. And you might be thinking, well, how do you know that's a simile? As long and slender, long and skinny, as a bamboo shoot. Now remember our definition of simile. It is a comparison that uses like or as. So as soon as I see the word as, we have a simile there. The metaphor, there is a metaphor in this, not meat, sorry, metaphor. Think about what a metaphor does. It compares a person or a thing to something else. In our example, we saw a person being compared to a shining star. Is there something that is compared in this little story to something in nature? Here we go. Their tempers are hot water bursting out of a geyser. So that the tempers of these two creatures, the gecko and the small animal, Canchel is sort of like a small deer, just to give you a mental image. Tempers are, and we're not using like or as, but we're literally comparing them to hot water bursting out of a geyser. Now, just so you know what a geyser is, the most famous one is probably Old Faithful. But I was trying to show you a picture of Canchel. I couldn't there, but I may still be able. I think maybe there's one in the book. Okay, a geyser. Let's look that up and look at some images of a geyser. Geysers are natural occurrences in when pressure under the ground builds up. It causes water to spew up into the air. This water can be boiling hot. It's not something you would want to be standing near. But this is caused by extreme pressure underneath the earth, causing this explosion of water. So this author is comparing the tempers of these two creatures to this type of occurrence. So I would expect these two creatures to argue a lot and probably get very angry with each other. But these are images of geysers. If you don't know what the word is, stop and look it up. That's one of the best ways to build your vocabulary. And then when you see that word again, you will know what it means. One more thing I need to do here, because I have quoted directly from the passage, we need to indicate that with quotation marks. Anytime you are copying someone else's words directly, you need to put quotation marks around it. Okay, I'm going to stop this. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the next passage. I think I can get it in here. This is a test example. It says to read the passage, then answer the question. One fine morning, Canchel and Chichok argue with each other. Each claims to be the fastest runner in all of Indonesia. I am a speeding bullet train when I run, Canchel boasts. Chichok's slim body goes rigid, but she replies, Ha! You are as slow as an old turtle. When I run, I am as fast as a comet. The two friends glare at each other. So they are having an argument about who runs the fastest. And let's just take a look at each character's opinion. Canchel says, I am a speeding bullet train when I run. Cheechak laughs and she says, ha, you are as slow as an old turtle. When I run, I am as fast as a comet. But now there is one more. There's the word as, and as, you are as slow as an old turtle. So here we have a simile. Like and as indicate similes. Let me just go ahead and highlight the words as for you. And then fast as a comet. There's another simile. So Cheechak is using a simile to describe herself in the yellow and Canchel in the blue. Two similes. Canchel doesn't use like or as. She's using a metaphor. She is comparing herself to a speeding bullet train. So we have three very clear pieces of figurative language. Canchel can't really run as fast as a bullet train. The fastest animal on earth is a cheetah, and they run about 70 miles an hour. A bullet train is going to go faster than that. So Canchel can't really run that fast, but she's comparing herself to that image of a bullet train. Number 1 says, which one of the following sentences contains a metaphor? One fine morning, Canchel and Cheechak argue with each other. There is no comparison happening in this sentence, so it is not a simile or a metaphor because nothing's being compared. I am a speeding bullet train when I run. Okay, that's a comparison. Canchel's comparing herself to a bullet train. Ha, you are as slow as an old turtle. That's a comparison. But notice this comparison uses as. When I run, and again, this is Cheechak speaking. When I run, I am as fast as a comet. There's as, and there it is again. So the metaphor is in B. The last two are both similes. Okay. You see why it's so important for you to know the vocabulary, metaphor, simile. Those are important words to know. Okay, I'm going to stop this video. We'll look at the next one where I believe we have more adventures with Cheechak and Canchel. So I will see you soon.